Happy to see you in Business Doctor. Today we are going to see something very special. We have been discussing about purpose in pursuit of dreams. We will discuss more on the purpose related to yourself or your task or your management or your business as we progress. But I thought equally important is that the purpose has to be consistent enough throughout your journey. That it is called in the industrial parlance as a constancy of purpose. We'll start with the story. The story goes like this. The king and the queen of kingdom, they loved each other so much, and wherever the king goes, the king takes her wife, which is the queen. Like that, the life goes on for the king. And at some point in time, unfortunately, the queen got ill and she had to die. So the king, who was in love with the queen, was completely devastated, and the king decided to construct a small monument. He didn't want to move out of that place, so he lit a lamp, a small structure in the place where the queen used to live. And he was constantly glaring at that structure. It's a small structure with a lamp. As the days go by, the king refused to take food, and the country was in a downward spiral, and every ministers around him asked him to take care of his health, take care of the country and the people thereon. So the king was fed with some food, but still king refused to look at anything else other than the monument. As the day goes by, the ministers advised him that don't worry, king, you will be always looking at your queen. We will construct something more beautiful than what it is now. So they constructed some small hall kind of a structure where there is a lot of lighting, and the queen's image was highlighted, and the burial place was always visible 24/7, and the king used to view that always. Again, as the days go by, the king got introduced to the idea of why can't we make something bigger for the queen. So he demolished some of the structures, and around that place he constructed a more beautiful, bigger hall with the bigger lighting, with the beautiful structures and stuff like that. Again, as the days rolled on, the king was not happy with that structure, so he called all his ministers that I loved the queen so much, and I'm still loving her, and this is not good enough for her stature, so we need to construct something more. So he called all the people, then they demolished that place, and they reconstructed that place with a beautiful structure, which was like a palace, and there were a lot of lightings, there were a lot of garden flowers, and so on and so forth. The king was completely fascinated by that palace, and as the day moved on, the king felt something still not quite good. So he called upon all the ministers that something else is still having a problem with that structure, and I'm not happy with that. Then after a few days, the king decided, that was due to that small lamp which was lighting on that burial site. Please remove that lamp. So finally, the queen memory got eroded, and this king had got a beautiful palace in place, which was originally supposed to be the remembrance place for the queen who was buried there. So somewhere as the days went by in that example, the king lost the focus. The focus was that he had a purpose. The purpose was his love, and the love got reflected in constructing a monument or a lamp, a burial place where the king had to remember her always. That was the purpose behind which that was constructed. But over a period of time, what happened is that they got a beautiful palace, and finally, the purpose itself was removed from that palace because that was a nuisance. That was not adding the beauty to the palace. So they finally removed that. So, how the constancy of the purpose got diluted over a period of time based on lot of factors, lot of inputs coming into the king, and finally king had to take a call to remove that lamp, and ended up with a beautiful palace, which was not his original objective was. So this is how the purpose got lost for the king, and it is true in everyone's life, in everyone's family, or in the profession, or in the business, that you start off with some purpose, and as the day goes by, there are a lot of further inputs, and you want to improve upon that input, so on and so forth. Finally, you end up with losing the purpose for which why you started in the first place, and you ended up in something else. So this is just a glimpse of how the constancy of purpose is going to be as we talk along these lines in the upcoming videos. And this is relevant in case of business, and relevant in case of anyone who wants to pursue a dream or a purpose or a vision, which we saw some time back. Thank you for watching Business Doctor. This is Gokul. See you in the next video. Have a nice day. Cheers.